Yo guys, Vision here back with more Minecraft content, and welcome to my new for Hardcore Forever World, a brand new series to this channel following the completion of Minecraft Survival in our previous series, which is linked in the description below, a journey that I set out over 6 months ago and returning to survival for the first time in over 10 years with the aim to complete everything there was to do in Minecraft, which we managed to do. Now the next step in our journey in Minecraft Survival is to play Hardcore and to hopefully defeat the Ender Dragon, which is something I wanted to share my journey with you guys on a monthly basis, a brand new and long time players that are going to help and inspire players to experience this intense, challenging, and but also extremely exciting adventure, as well as just take it off that list of gaming challenges, something that I've always wanted to do for some time now, and hopefully we can do so without dying. So on that note, let's get right into things. So first things first, I guess it's worth opening up with an overview on the purpose of this series and everything I want to achieve in this world and in our goal in order to defeat the Ender Dragon in hardcore survival and eventually complete this world, or just leave it as a long-term forever world that we maybe will come back to in due course. But of course, if you guys aren't new to the channel and you guys have seen all of the other Minecraft content I produce, we also have another forever world that I play on a realm, which is what I play a lot more of my time playing with my friends on that world. That is a new forever world that we came up with not too long ago, and that is a new series that I'm also playing alongside this one. Now in this world, my ultimate goal is to defeat the dragon, defeat the wither, defeat the warden, and get my revenge from previous worlds, and also just other things like just generally exploring what it's like in hardcore, because this is actually not an easy feat by any means. I know there are people out there that have been playing hardcore or playing Minecraft for a very long time and can deal with this with ease, but there are very few people that can do that. And for the majority of us who are out there, players like myself who have returned to Minecraft in over 10 years, haven't played survival since pretty much it came out on console, this is no small feat. This is going to be something I'm very proud of once I eventually do it. Hopefully we don't die, like I said, along the way. And so far in this world, we have started out really well. In this world, I effectively started in a taiga slash snowy sort of biome where we eventually found a village really quickly, which is really useful and really helpful. And there was diamonds in there, I think, straight away. So I ended up getting a diamond sword almost off the break. And then there was lots of other things that I'm trying to get accustomed to with regards to playing in my experience so far in hardcore, and just how difficult everything generally is in terms of just generally surviving and just trying to build things, dealing with certain mob types, or pretty much all mob types for the most part. Like, it's a real adjustment to get used to hardcore. There's no respawning, of course, real risk and threats just typically everywhere, such as the drowns with the tridents. These are a mob that I learned very quickly you just do not mess with. Doesn't matter what armor you have. I have full diamond. I tried fighting one in the water to try and get a trident. I don't even know why. I don't need a trident. I'm trying to defeat the Ender Dragon. We don't need it for that. That's something I'll get later on when I have full enchanted and stuff like that. But in this world, I learned very quickly when I went down to 1 HP whilst trying to fight this drown, which I don't even think you could say I was trying to fight it. I tried hitting it once, missed it. It hit me with a trident, and then I realized how weak I was. It hit me again on my way escaping, and then I was like, oh my god, that's how easy it is to die in this world. So I then did not do that ever again. And just a little bit of a tip for you guys in case you guys haven't played hardcore or weren't aware as well, do not mess with these. But I guess just every mob as well, almost, as well as like mining, when you're coming across creepers, endermen, skeletons whilst climbing, or generally just mobbing in general, mini zombies who have swords or shovels or whatever. Basically every single mob, especially early game, you do not mess with. As soon as it gets to near dark time, you go and hide away, and if you don't have a bed, you just wait the night out in the cold or whatever it is, or if you do have a bed, you sleep the nights. You just do not mess with mobs, especially early on in hardcore. And then, like I said, in our previous world, we had a forever world where I completed Minecraft. We had a episode 1 to episode 25. They were all sorts of different types of videos, from me exploring the world, from me finding things like ancient cities and trial chambers, as well as defeating mob types and bosses and all that sort of stuff. It was a great series. It's something that I eventually completed 25 episodes in 6 months later, and eventually that world we lost due to corruption. The world scene itself just failed to open, and we eventually lost it, which from doing my research and looking online from other people who have had the same experiences, this is not something that is new to anyone else, and this is quite common, unfortunately, especially for large scale worlds. So what we actually have, like I said at the start of the video, on the background, or in the sort of alternative to this, is that I actually have a long-term forever world that we've planned and going forward, where we're going to be playing with all of the other friends that I had in my previous world, where we have an open world realm. The first time I've ever played a realm, which is really cool because now I don't have to be the host and open up the world for my friends. I've got several friends that have been playing that world even without me there. They've been playing loads. We're up to like 1,000 days nearly, where I'm trying to catch up videos, like in similar to this, where I'm going to sort of base it on every 250 days, I think is what the plan is. And effectively in that world, we have had a great start where we started out, and I've already got an elytra. We've already got netherite and stuff like that. So that world's far progressed versus this one. This one is going to be something I play on my own as a side project, like I said, to complete the game in itself in terms of defeating the dragon. And then hopefully from there, if the series goes well and I'm enjoying it, I will carry on from there and hopefully have a single player sort of forever world on hardcore that I will sort of take and sort of play on my own time in spare time, especially when no one everyone else is playing this game, or when eventually one of the worlds dies out in terms of that sort of excitement that we all know. That 2-week phase that typically lasts longer from me and my group of friends, where we don't just play it for 2 weeks, we play it for months at a time. But typically it does happen. Everyone burns out once in a while in Minecraft, and it's something that I may come back to time and time again. But in this world, it's like I said, it started out really, really well. We have a nice Other Forever world where we're playing in the background, and then as well as that, we of course had that series where we eventually got all 25 episodes out. We completed the game, we defeated the Wither, but I'm still yet to get my revenge on that Warden. If you guys aren't new and you guys have been around for a while, like I said, firstly, thank you, but also secondly, I have been trying to get my revenge on the Warden. I haven't specifically set out a mission yet in trying to defeat the Warden, but anytime I have encountered it, especially in the new Forever world, we have ancient cities everywhere in that world, and for some reason I just cannot get the best of that Warden, and I have died many times trying to get around it or just trying to fight it and failed miserably. Like I said, I'm going to plan sooner or later. It's maybe not in this world because that would just be a silly idea, wouldn't it? But maybe in another world, in that other Forever world, I will try and defeat the Warden because I need to get my revenge. I need to know what it takes. It's like, even though you don't get any rewards, so I've heard and so I've seen from other videos on actually defeating him, which sounds bizarre because it's like the most ridiculous mob type in the entire game. But all things considered, you don't get anything from it, which is why I've not really sort of pursued it. But it's something I want to do just for a personal agenda that I have against that bloody mob because it has just destroyed me on various different occasions and my friends. And just generally, as well as that, I'm going to continue making guides for any newer players. Like I said, I am obviously a sort of returning player, a long time player. I've been in since the start, but I had a long break from survival. I didn't really play it at all. If I did, I maybe hopped in for like a day at a time in a world here and there, played so many different types of worlds, but for the most part, I'd never committed to an actual survival series, which was a part of that last world that we created. And then going forward, I'm going to continue creating guides to help new and returning players because I appreciate there are lots of players who don't really know what they're doing, they're new to the game, or they're just not that comfortable at playing at a faster or higher level, whatever it may be. And of course, I play on console. I'm not cracked at this game. I'm not like everyone else that I've seen in videos where they play at such fast pace. I'd never really played PvP or anything like that, so I don't even know how to play at that level. But just generally exploring, finding things in Minecraft, enjoying the game, I'm pretty decent at. I could get myself around and could defeat the game, like I said. And I guess maybe a guide for someone that is newer to the game, someone who's a bit more relatable, hopefully for newer and returning players, that maybe I could help you guys out because that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that there's some content out there for both new and returning players as well as long-term players, like a Forever World player who wants to sort of join me in this journey and sort of sticking around and seeing how I get by with defeating the Ender Dragon eventually, because that is what we're going to do. And eventually how the breakdown or the structure of the series is planning out to be is I'm going to just give you guys, like I said, the opening episode, the introduction to this world and how we progressed, and then eventually we will get round to updating you guys throughout the progress of several days through. So I think it's up to about 100 or 200 days. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head on where I'm at currently in this world, but obviously this is the start where I found the first village, and then going from here we eventually built a little base on a river. I established there at night and I just wanted to stay there from then, and then effectively from there we've created a little village town. We found diamonds in this village, like I said early on, and then as soon as I started strip mining down below, I ended up finding a mine shaft literally directly below my base, which was super handy, made it really easy to find some cool loot. Of course, super dangerous as well, so I had to be really careful, get iron armor before I'd even go anywhere near it, and eventually we found diamonds pretty much everywhere. I saved all of the diamonds, I marked them out, and I was strategic about this from learning from my past experiences as another tip coming up, which was to actually save the diamonds I found, mark them out and note them down where they are, and then go back once I had the fortune enchantment to go and duplicate the amount or just increase the amount of diamonds that I could obtain, which was a really smart thing that I did because I ended up getting an entire stack from about 20 diamonds, maybe about 25 diamonds, whatever it may have been that I found, and I ended up getting so much diamonds that I have now a full set of armor, and I've started enchanting it in this world. So basically what I'm going to do going forward is episode 2 will update you guys with the world, go into a bit more detail on the exploration, the journeys, the encounters that I've had so far, as well as giving you guys some base updates and just how I'm progressing through the world with regards to survival tips or whatever I have with farming methods or anything like that that could help you guys out, especially as I said, it's different in a hardcore world where you play things slightly more reserved and conservative, and also just generally going into the nether, sort of embracing what that can be, because I have been there briefly. That's the stage I'm actually at. That's exactly where I've got to as part of this episode. At this time of recording this, I have just got to the nether, and it is terrifying. We're fortunately not in a crimson biome, so there is no sort of means to panic, but we are in a bit of a weird area where I have to go sort of travel away, because of course I need to get some blaze rods so I can of course find the stronghold, because that is of course the ultimate goal, and getting to a fortress could be really difficult, and I'm really hoping it doesn't turn out to be a long-winded method, which is what I've had in my other Forever world, because it ended up taking us a very, very long time to find a fortress. Believe it or not, we actually found 5 bastions before we ended up finding a fortress in our other world, so I'm really hoping that's not the case in this one. I will not be using chunk bait either. I do not like using things like that. I absolutely am a fan of exploring and understanding the lore of the world and going through that journey and just generally understanding what it takes in order to obtain and find and search the world in itself, because I find that it's so much better in that method. But also in this world, this is where I made a silly mistake. As you can see here, I literally almost drowned to death on the sort of 5th day in our world. I went down below to get some coal, and I guess I kind of got too used to having respiration on my sort of in my helmet in the previous world, and I came to this world and completely forgot how quickly you drown. Almost forgot all my survival instincts, because when you have netherite and you play in another world, we have an elytra, you'll all see it set up and geared out, you forget how quickly you can die in the early game of this phase or the early phase of a Minecraft world. And that is just a little bit of a reminder there that sort of showed me very quickly how quickly you can lose all of your world. So make sure you take it seriously, guys, as another tip, and make sure you do not rush things. Play at your own pace. Do not go into any further than you're already comfortable doing, and make sure you understand your surroundings, you're aware of everything that's around you, and that you know exactly how many bubbles you have left when you're going down below water, just like I did. But then also as well, like I said, here's a clip of me finding the diamonds, marking them out in the stairway, and look how many diamonds we find from just that little stack. We found 18 just from there, right in the stairway that we went down into a strip mine that ended up finding so many more as well, which helped me on my journey. But this will be saved for a future episode as we go through the world. Like I said, we're in the Nether at this point, and we are eventually going to find that Nether fortress, get some blaze rod, and I'm going to share that in a future episode for the journey on completing this world in hardcore survival. If you guys have enjoyed, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I massively appreciate it. And also comment down below if you have any tips for that help myself or returning players or new players that are going to be playing Minecraft survival, especially hardcore for the first time. I would massively appreciate it, and I'm sure other players will too. So make sure you let me know down below in the comments, and I'll get right back to you. I'm Vision SGN. I hope you enjoyed the video and found this useful, and I'll see you in the next episode.